We are back inside Fantasy Springs Casino. It's been a night of heavyweights. And tonight, though, the main event, Luis Ortiz, Monte Barrett. Ortiz fighting at a Cuba. Escaped his first try. He said he wanted to come to the United States because he wanted to win a world title. He's our main event. A southpaw against Monte Barrett, a longtime fighter who's had some battles against David Tua and some of the other big names in the boxing division. 10 rounds from Indio, California. And there you see Luis King Kong Ortiz.
That's the real King Kong.
The real King Kong.
He claims the other King Kong was a fraud.
He does claim that he has a fraud. Let's go with Jessica Rosales, who has more.
Yeah, you guys, and at 6'4", 233 pounds, the real King Kong doesn't actually come from his size. He actually, in the ring, calls himself the king of the ring, and his team said that the name just stuck because when he's in there, he really owns it and dominates it, and then from there, King of the Ring turned into the real King Kong, and now he uses it on his Twitter and his Instagram, King Kong Boxing.
See that, Rich? You gotta brand yourself.
I know it.
Gotta brand yourself.
Love these names, logos, phrases, beautiful. Monte Barrett. Now here's a guy, I feel like I've gone through 3 phases with this guy. Back in the late 90s as a young contender coming up. I actually called the fight when he fought Hasim Rahman for the heavyweight championship in Chicago. In the middle of the last decade when he lost a split decision in that fight. Now here he is in what he promises will be his last year in competition in the ring. And as you can see why, he's 42 years old. As far as size goes, not much to choose, though, between these two.
Yeah, Monte Barrett, you mentioned 42. Last fought in 2012. Let's go to our ring announcer, Joe Martinez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live on Fox Sports 1 from the beautiful Fantasy Springs Resort Casino here in Indio, California. It is time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled, this in the heavyweight division. Brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions with our sponsors, Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day in association with King Kong Boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Frierson, with Executive Officer Andy Foster. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system, Max DeLuca, Hall of Famer Marty Denkin, and Fernando Villarreal. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Raul Caiz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready and the fighters are ready. Indio, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks trimmed in silver, he weighed officially 229 pounds. This veteran brings an outstanding professional record into the ring tonight. 35 victories, 10 defeats, 2 draws with 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Queens, New York, here is Monte "Two Guns" Barrett. And next is the opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing white, trimmed in black, he weighed officially 233 pounds. This 25 veteran is perfect in the ring. 20 bouts with 20 victories, including 17 big knockout wins. Here is the undefeated heavy slugger from Miami, Florida, Luis King Kong Ortiz.
Here instructions downstairs, hacia abajo. Aquí está bien, your trunk's a little high, punches here are fine. Shake hands, good luck to both of you. Buena suerte a los dos.
Well, we may find out something about Luis Ortiz here tonight, depending on how much Monte Barrett could still bring to the table. But I'll tell you one thing, Beto, is that a lot of guys have tried to test themselves against Monte Barrett down through the years. Good fighters, Joe Messi and Jimmy Thunder, Phil Jackson, Greg Page. A lot of these fighters, Tim Witherspoon, in fact, came up short against this guy. Messi got the win, but felt that a lot of people felt that he didn't deserve it. So we'll see how how much Monte Barrett still has left tonight.
Monte Barrett, at the age of 42. As mentioned, last fight was in 2012. Had an opportunity to take a couple other fights. Said he didn't want to do it because he wasn't ready. Said this one, he had enough time to get in the gym and train. Luis Ortiz, the southpaw, fled Cuba 4 years ago, and on his first try, landed in Cancun. He left his mom behind, but his daughters are with him here in the United States. So he wanted to come because he wanted to be a world champion, something you can't do in Cuba. An extensive amateur career, but he's also a fighter at the age of 34. 20-0, 17 knockouts, but how many of those fighters have been at the caliber of Monte Barrett? None.
Right, and the Cuban fighters, of course, are well schooled and they have a lot of international experience. Some of them do well in the professional ranks when they come here to America. Joel Casamayor, for example. Some were expected to do a lot more. Ramon Garbe came over here, had a huge reputation, and did not live up to that reputation. So we'll see about Ortiz.
Big guy, 6'4".
Yes, he is.
Monte Barrett, 6'3". Love seeing the heavyweights get after it. See Ortiz, a little smile on his face. USA flag on the back of his trunks. Real calm. Went to his workout, his media workout on Monday in Malabar, actually at Ponce de Leon's gym. Talked to him briefly in Spanish. He said, "Oh, just another fight. Just be in there, fight, because I've been fighting my entire life. Because I'm trying to get out of Cuba."
Yep. As for Barrett, his last win, as mentioned, was over David Tua. He took a hard left there from Ortiz. Took it well, though. And I asked him about Tua's punching power. I said, how hard does David hit? He goes, are you kidding me? He broke my jaw. He goes, how hard do you think he hit?
And that was in a fight he won, correct?
Yes.
Monte Barrett, he's been good for the heavyweight division.
Well, he's a skilled fighter. No longer wearing the cowboy hat into the ring as he did earlier in his career.
Watch your feet, let's get it,
Oh, he was bothered by that shot by Ortiz. He wiped at his eye there.
First round.
Stop at the bell, para la campana.
Winding down between the heavyweights as Monte Barrett is cut underneath his right eye.
That one punch seemed to really bother him. It might have been the one that cut him. There you see it. It's not in a dangerous spot, though. It's annoying, I'm sure.
Okay. Eso viene, okay? Eso viene, pero mira, organízate con él ya, las rectas abajo y termina con el swing. Pero la recta abajo, tú para allá afuera, tú para allá afuera. Dale, dale.
This broadcast of Golden Boy on Fox is brought to you by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And there you see Ortiz with his trainer Caicedo, who's working with him for the second time, Rich.
Ortiz looks ready to go. He's up on the stool 15 seconds before the start of the round. There's the one right before. Now you see him, he wipes right at it. He got hit. I'm sure this is the one that opened up the cut as well. He wipes right at it. He knew something was wrong there. And Barrett did not fight too enthusiastically after that, just needed to get to his corner.
Monte Barrett, 35-10-2, 20 KOs in his long career. Said he started boxing while he was in junior college. Actually played football. Made sure to tell me that he was all Queens as a football player. And there you see the southpaw and the headbutt. Common always, right, Rich? Murata? Anytime you have the unorthodox fighter.
That's absolutely correct. Now, in a situation like Barrett, though, Barrett himself has faced so many different styles, so many different sizes of fighters down through the course of his career. He's had success against a lot of those young guns that were coming up. But when he got to the very biggest fights, we mentioned the one with Rahman, which he lost a close decision in that fight. He was stopped in 7 rounds by Vladimir Klitschko when he fought him. So Barrett has been in with the very best.
Luis Ortiz, last fight was November of last year, a first-round knockout of Alex Gonzalez. Before that, he fought in North Carolina, and that was a fight where it was called a no decision because the ring didn't quite hold up the big heavyweights. Too much slack on the ropes. That was a no decision for those two.
Well, you know, it was funny. Barrett was talking about fighting Nikolai Valuev, that big 7'2" monster. And he said they set him up in a ring that was only 14.5 feet.
For heavyweights.
And a 7-foot heavyweight.
You just put him in a shoebox, huh? Jeez. Forget the phone book.
Man.
Let's go with Jessica Rosales, who has more.
Ortiz is not alone in leaving Cuba to follow his dreams. There's other athletes who have done the same to pursue their professional careers here in the United States. And he was telling us yesterday that it's really a community with these Cuban athletes, that they don't know each other personally, but they do support one another and follow each other's careers because in one way or another, they've all basically gone through the same thing to get to where they are. So it's really a community and a brotherhood with all of them.
Well, you mentioned Casamayor and some of the other Cuban fighters, but it's in all sports. You also have in baseball, Yasiel Puig, Aroldis Chapman, Cespedes with the Oakland A's, where they're leaving, but they never really want to tell you about how they left because of their stories, because their families are still there. As Ortiz stutters, Monte Barrett, who opens up his mouth.
Yeah, he got wobbled by that left cross from the southpaw Ortiz.
Monte doing the veteran move.
You know, Luis, if he's victorious here tonight, he's going to have to be on a fast track because he's 35 years old. I find it so interesting that a lot of these newcomers in the heavyweight division are not young.
No, they're not, but we have some good action here in the heavyweight division.
I'm Gabriel Morency, reminding you.
I can already see that bruising, and there's that left cross. Good shot on the right side of the face, and then he went downstairs, Ortiz, and throws a body punch that also Barrett felt. I think Monte's going to have to get Ortiz's respect at some point here. Ortiz feeling very bold, walking right into Barrett.
As Monte Barrett was just lightly throwing those jabs. Luis Ortiz yelled in English, "Come on, let's go."
Stop!
And tonight's CompuBox stats are brought to you by ThrowdownFantasy.com. Draft fighters, track stats, and win.
And the early stats show Ortiz dominating the fight here early. We'll have to see if Barrett can somehow
Let him go, Monty. Let him go,
resurrect what he once had in him. It was interesting. He said between rounds, "I need some rounds." Barrett to his corner.
Well, he hasn't fought since 2012. Actually, it's the first time he's in California since 2003.
Yeah, so he may feel that he needs to get the rust off, and it's going to take him a few rounds here.
Well, Monte Two Guns Barrett, half glove, will travel New Zealand, Switzerland, England. There he's taking some jabs from Ortiz. Big left from Ortiz. Monte keeps coming.
They walked right into that one.
Monte loaded up on the right, Ortiz counters. As Ortiz doing a good job of listening to his corner, they're telling him to double jab, and then he's doing what a big man would do, Rich, go to the body.
Yeah, that is helping him here tonight. Barrett trying to launch some
Hands are free,
offense.
Take your hand out, Marty. Don't hit him low.
But I don't think Ortiz has felt anything that Barrett has thrown yet.
Doesn't look like it.
I know that song Brick House was about a woman. But
where are you going with this one?
I'm just looking at Ortiz. He is wide, man. He is a brick house. He really is.
He is 6'4", 240, big guy. Loading up on that left. Moving Monte back. Monte on the ropes. Monte just throwing wild punches.
But he's got to get some respect or he's going to be dominated.
Step back and punch, Monty. Step back and punch, Ortiz.
Monte Barrett's last win, August of 2011. That's when he beat David Tua in a crazy 12-rounder. That's the fight he said where Tua broke his jaw, as you mentioned earlier. You fly to New Zealand 18 hours, you win the fight, you come home with a broken jaw.
I could think of things I'd rather do than absorb David Tua's best punch.
And he fought him twice.
10 seconds. Stop at the bell.
Closing seconds. of the round between Luis King Kong Ortiz, who's looking like he's loading up against Monte Two Guns Barrett.
You ready?
All right, Ortiz so far has been pretty dominant in this fight. A nice job landing the body. Then Barrett uncharacteristically got wild coming off the ropes, and Ortiz made him pay for it. They think that Barrett has been actually moving in the wrong direction in this fight, circling the wrong way, and moving into the power of Ortiz. So they asked him to go in the other, go into the other direction.
Really? Is that good advice?
Yeah, I would think it is, but Barrett needs to show something. I mean, they're asking him to show some movement. Ain't easy at 42.
Especially when you haven't fought in more than a year. Fourth round scheduled for 10 in the heavyweight division. Luis Ortiz, Monte Barrett. A big left from Ortiz. As referee, Raul Caiz is going to stop it.
He called it right there.
Raul Caiz came over as Barrett took a big shot from Luis Ortiz. And Caiz, experienced referee, went over and stopped it immediately. They called for the stool for Monte Barrett.
Well, that was an unusual stoppage, though. There was one punch. It was a clean knockdown. But again, an unusual situation, an unusual end to the fight. I mean, Raul Caiz immediately called an end.
I mean, Monte Barrett's been in some brawls over the years and some battles. I don't think I've ever seen a fight with Monte Barrett get stopped that fast.
Monte did not argue the stoppage.
No, he didn't.
And it may just felt that I just don't have it.
At the age of 42, first time fighting over a year. There you see Luis Ortiz, and here you're going to see the replay, Rich.
All right, let's take a look at it. There's that left hand. And again, he grabs right at his face. Grabbed at the, I think he might have grabbed right at the nose.
Yeah, it looks like he grabs right at the nose and he takes a knee.
And that's a very painful shot. Yeah, when you get hit in the nose like that, it's a terrible, painful shot.
Whatever you think is what I...
And Raul Caiz, sensing the predicament that Barrett was in at that point, just immediately goes in. He calls the knockdown first and then just waves it off.
Tonight's CompuBox stats are brought to you by ThrowdownFantasy.com. Draft fighters, track stats, and win.
All right, there it is. Domination by Luis Ortiz here tonight. Landed twice as many punches, threw almost twice as many, and landed at a higher percentage.
Luis Ortiz, 21-0.
Driving at night, struggling with glare from...
Back at Fantasy Springs Casino, Luis Ortiz with a big knockout of Monte Barrett, and we're a few minutes away from Fox Sports Live. There you see Luis Ortiz improves to 21-0 with 18 KOs. Let's go up to the ring with Jessica Rosales, who spoke with the referee, Raul Caiz.
He was saying that Barrett was just taking too much, and he even thinks that he may have broke his nose with Ortiz's last punch. Now, while I was in the ring talking to him, the replays were showing on the big screens, and he told me, look at the tape. That last hit, it was just too much. The last thing that he said to me, that there was just no sense in Barrett taking any more punches.
Well, I will never argue with that. Safety of the fighter is the most important thing. And in this fight, Monte Barrett basically was dominated by Ortiz. He took command in that first round. Ortiz had trouble stopping the left crosses, and you see that was the one that cut him, got him up on the eye, slid down, cut him just below the eye. There, staggered him again a little bit. That was a body shot that did some damage. And as the fight wore on, you could see that Barrett, although he was giving it the try, he just couldn't get started. And he took that shot on the nose, a brutal blast to the nose, and that was it. I mean, Raul Caiz just called it.
What was my secret to losing 62 pounds?
Oh, it's always good. Thank you, Jay and Dan. Let's go up to the ring for the decision with Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes officially 38 seconds, round number 4. Your winner by KO victory. He is still undefeated, Luis King Kong Ortiz.
Let's go with the Jay and Dan as Fox Sports Live starts right now.